Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, 2 arrests were made in Murfreesboro involving large amounts of drugs. A bomb threat caused an evacuation at Wilson Central High School.
And a local teen has been charged with evasion of arrest. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Oppman.
And I'm Mary Beth Mangrum. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
2 individuals have been arrested in Murfreesboro in relation to an ongoing drug investigation. Approximately 47 kilograms of illicit drugs were seized at the scene. This arrest has been in the works since the spring of 2022. The TBI-led investigation pointed officials towards a drug trafficking organization tied to the Sinaloa cartel. Agents found information about a drug shipment from California to Murfreesboro. The suspects, Kevin Bucio Arredondo and Leslie Heredia, are both California natives. They have been booked into the Rutherford County Jail, each with 1 count of possession of Schedule II drugs for resale and 1 count of money laundering.
A bomb threat was called into Wilson Central High School on Monday morning. This potential threat was called in around 9 a.m. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office received a similar threat only 2 minutes after. School faculty proceeded to evacuate students to an indoor athletic facility near the football field. The school district reports that all students, teachers, and staff are safe. Local law enforcement gave the school an all-clear notice around noon. No threat was found.
A local Murfreesboro teen was charged with evading arrest in the street racing incident. On Sunday, officers were dispatched to the 100 block Air Park Center East to respond to reports of drag racing activities. 18-year-old Gavin Fitzpatrick was found outside of a 2010 Mazda M61, while another driver was performing donuts in the parking lot. Fitzpatrick sped off, but officers found him based on the look of his car and his license plate that read Gavino. A warrant was out for his arrest, and he was taken into custody Tuesday night.
The Laverne Chief of Police has been fired after department sex scandal. Former Chief Burrell Chip Davis has been terminated, along with 5 other officers. One of these officers, Megan Hall, filed an Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaint with the state. She claims that Davis allowed illicit behavior to take place. Other allegations claim that officers engaged in sexual relationships on duty while inside of city-owned property and shared inappropriate photographs. Deputy Chief Brent Hatcher currently serves as interim chief, and Laverne officials state that a nationwide search for a new chief is underway.
A Murfreesboro native, Alex Ballou, is 1 step away from winning Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen started airing in 2005 and has made its way to its 21st season. Ballou graduated with his culinary degree at the Art Institute of Tennessee in 2007. He took time off to create a top culinary program for Middle Tennessee students, winning the NRA Pro Star Championship in 2014 at Blackman High School. Ballou has now made it in the top 3 finalists in Hell's Kitchen. To catch Ballou on his final step, be sure to tune in to Fox this Thursday at 7 p.m.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations are saddened by the loss of an important figure within the agency. Longtime director Arzo Carson passed away yesterday morning. Director Carson first started leading the agency back when it was founded in 1949 and continued to do so up until 1990. The TBI named the headquarters in dedication to Carson, stating that he was a pioneer who led the agency with passion and integrity. The agency is sending out thoughts and prayers to Carson's family and friends during this time. MTSU students and alumni made their way to Woodbury, Tennessee to get involved in the arts. Our very own Sarah Oppman brings us this story.
25 minutes east of Murfreesboro, a red building sits on the side of John Bragg Highway in a rural town of only 2,000 people. The Arts Center of Cannon County is a not-for-profit corporation that has been bringing the joy of art and theater to its community since 1980. The theater is known for bringing people together, and the Arts Center of Cannon County does just that when it comes to MTSU students and alumni.
Of speech,
The current production of Into the Woods here at the Arts Center has over 20 current MTSU students and alumni, serving roles as actors, producers, sound engineers, stage managers, assistant directors, and members of the live orchestra. Alumna Holly Evans reflects on how nice it is to be surrounded by fellow Blue Raiders on the stage.
The people here are so good. It's been a little, it's kind of humbling because I'm in a show where there are no weak links and everybody around me is amazing.
While the student orchestra is being paid for their work on the show, others are simply participating as volunteers.
Honestly, the amount of fun I have doing it literally makes up for any payment that's ever involved.
MTSU student Logan Purcell says the Arts Center provides him with an opportunity to make strides towards a career as an actor.
I try and be in every show I possibly can. Even if that means working on 2 shows at the same time, I'll do it. I try and take every opportunity because meeting new people means more connections to people I may need later on.
Chief Operating Officer Beth McCreary says she is thrilled to see MTSU students getting involved and believes it is as beneficial for the Arts Center as it is for the students.
Well, we give them real-world experience. Even in, we're getting a brand new state-of-the-art sound system, and that's coming in March. And even for them to run sound, like I said, be in the band, run sound, be backstage, it's real-world experience.
The Arts Center of Cannon County continues to provide experiences and opportunities for current and former students and encourages anyone to get involved. In the meantime, come down to Woodbury to sit back, relax, and see these students at work. Sarah Ottman, Middle Tennessee News. It really was a great experience seeing fellow MTSU students hard at work in their show of Into the Woods. And now Ryan Martinelich joins us with our first look at the weather.
Hey guys, today we've seen some clouds covering the sky much of the day as we woke up to some morning showers. But even with the overcast skies and a light breeze, we've had some relatively warm weather for Tennessee today. Highs for the day have been in the low to mid 60s for the early afternoon, with Manchester reaching 64, Auburntown and Lebanon reaching 66, and McMinnville at 65, with Murfreesboro getting up to 67 degrees. Later on, I'll have tonight's forecast for Middle Tennessee. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Dr. Larry Burris joins us with this week's media commentary. The city of Laverne makes major updates to its streets, and MTSU has released its new photo gallery. That's all coming up next on Middle Tennessee News. Stick around.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
Oh no.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we have a special media commentary from our very own Dr. Larry Burris.
One of the oft-heard complaints about media is that big media conglomerates simply do what they want and ignore the public and the public's concern about such things as violence and commercials. But if we look at the reality, we see that most major forms of media are, in fact, driven by consumer preferences, if not outright consumer demand. Take a look at movies. Now, it's true, movies have become more violent and explicit over the years, but while that's been happening, the movie rating system has been changed and adapted in response to consumer complaints. How many of you have even heard of the M rating from 1968? Well, that's M for mature, which was changed due to consumer pressure into the PG and NC-17 ratings we have today. And the PG-13 rating itself was a direct response to public concern about violence. How many of you remember cigarette commercials on television? Well, if you're under 50 years old, you've never seen a real cigarette commercial on television. That's because the last televised cigarette commercial was aired on January 1st, 1971. What's also interesting here is that those commercials were taken off because of the actions of one person who demanded time to reply to all of the cigarette ads that were on during the 1950s and 60s. One of the most famous groups to have an impact on television, particularly Saturday morning television, was the now departed Action for Children's Television. Over the course of its life, ACT successfully pressured networks to reduce the number of commercial minutes on Saturday morning programming. The group also forced advertisers to change how they pitched ready-to-eat cereal for kids and how toys could be demonstrated and advertised. The trick here, if trick is really the right word, is what might be called audience participation. In a way, television, movies, and all other forms of media are no different from any other product or service. If you don't like what you see, then do something about it. But just sitting around complaining to your friends and neighbors won't do very much. You're going to have to take some kind of action to get what you want. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're leaving what you see and hear in the hands of people who do care, whether you agree with them or not. I'm Larry Burris.
Thank you, Dr. Burris, and make sure to join us next week for his next media commentary.
Looks like the city of Laverne has a bright future as they're making a few upgrades. With around a $2.2 million price point, Laverne is upgrading their old city streetlights to more energy-efficient LED light fixtures. The project started a few days ago on the 6th and is planning to be done around mid-April. Although they will not be upgrading any lights on I-24, City Administrator Bruce Richardson stated that this project will save taxpayers' dollars and help areas that are dangerously dark around Laverne.
The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department has honored one of their own who recently passed away. Mary Madding began working for the department in 1982. She retired in 2014 after 32 years of service. Madding was one of 3 women in the department back in 1985. Now, nearly 77% of the department is female. Madding passed away at age 69. The MFRD remembers Madding's service for the city of Murfreesboro and how she helped pave the way for female firefighters everywhere.
MTSU has released their new photo gallery for the month called The Drake. The Drake was photographed by Tamara Reynolds and is based off of the famous Drake Motel in Nashville, Tennessee. This motel has been rumored to have been visited by famous celebrities such as Elvis Presley and Dolly Parton. The gallery shows portraits of men and women who are going through many hardships that we forget about. Reynolds immersed herself with those who were ignored by the public, trying to survive day-to-day life. Be sure to support Reynolds and check out the panelist discussion on February 21st at 6 p.m. or come check the Baldwin Photo Gallery here in the Bragg Building.
And now Ryan Martinelich is back with tonight's forecast. Ryan, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Sarah. So as you can see, tonight's forecast won't see a tremendous dip in temperature for the surrounding counties, as many lows will be in the high 50s to low 60s, with Auburntown sitting at 64 degrees. So a fairly warm night for February for Tennessee as well. However, there is a trade-off, as we will be expecting a warm front bringing some late night and early morning showers, along with gusts of 20 miles an hour and upwards of 45 miles an hour. And that has been your Middle Tennessee forecast for tonight. So stick around after the break where I'll have your full 5-day forecast for Murfreesboro. Guys, back to you.
When we come back from the break, Ryan Martinelich will be back with our full weather report for the rest of this week, and we'll have Dylan Simmons in the MTN Sports Den with our update on all of our Blue Raider athletics.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And then I corrected
Jordan
myself
knows
by
he
saying
shouldn't
7,
eat
but
this
then it probably
entire
sounded
bowl
like
of
7.
nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and now we're going to kick it back to Ryan, who has our full weather report for the rest of the week and going into the weekend. Ryan, what do we have to look forward to this weekend?
Well, Sarah, like you heard me say earlier, we saw Murfreesboro reach a high of the day, 67 degrees, after an initial low of 52, and despite the constant dreary clouds hanging over us for the day. Tonight, just like the surrounding counties, expect some showers and high winds very late tonight into the early morning, but the temperature is not to drop by more than a few degrees. Tomorrow, you might wake up to some of those showers, but they should clear up by your morning commute, with Thursday morning reaching temps from around the high 50s to low 60s. However, temperatures will drop throughout the day and into the night, as the low will drop to 48 degrees. While the rain will be clear for the weekend, temperatures will still continue to drop into Friday morning, reaching a potential low of 35, but the sun will be out and get back to the temperature up to around 59 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, we'll see a similar pattern like Friday, as the sun may be out, the temps will start to feeling like February again, as the lows will both days will be in the high 20s, with Saturday just getting into the 50s as a high of 51, and Sunday reaching a high of 53 degrees. So definitely keep that jacket close by, even if you have some outdoor plans. This has been your 5-day forecast, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And when we come back, Dylan Simmons is over in the MTN Sports Den. He will have an update on all things new with the MTSU basketball teams and the rest of your sports report after the break.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Hello everyone, I'm Dylan Simmons, and welcome to the updated MTN Sports Den, where we keep you updated with everything Blue Raider athletics. To get started, Middle Tennessee women's basketball is preparing for an Unfuego rivalry with Western Kentucky tomorrow night. The Lady Raiders are coming off back-to-back losses to UTEP and UTSA and are hoping that this game will serve as a chance for a turnaround. This game holds special significance as the two rivals come into the game as number 1 and 2 in the CUSA standings with 11-2 and 10-3 conference records respectively. Look out for standout stars such as Savannah Wheeler and Courtney Whitson to be the difference makers for the Raiders in this one. The game starts at 6 o'clock and promises to be as electric as a Tesla coil. It will be streamed live on ESPN Plus tomorrow night, so make sure to tune in. Men's basketball will be hitting the road tomorrow night as they travel the 100 miles of hate to play the Hilltoppers. The Blue Raiders are coming off a big victory versus UTSA on Saturday night, in which they took apart the defense by putting up 84 points. It was true teamwork that would make the Wonder Pets proud, as Tifali Leonard, Cameron Weston, and Justin Porter all shot like LeBron James as they managed 13 points to lead the team in scoring. MT now stands at 15-9 overall and have clawed their way back to 4th in the Conference USA standings. Western Kentucky sits at 7th in the standings and are looking to establish some momentum with a victory tomorrow night. MTSU can put themselves in striking distance of 3rd position with a win as well. The game will be live on CBS Sports Network at 7 o'clock Thursday night, and it is sure to be a wild one. Men's tennis is preparing to chow down on a conference opponent this weekend. The Blue Raiders will play in their lone CUSA matchup of the season against the Rice Owls on Friday. This comes after a weekend in which the Raiders dominated with 3 wins against USF, Princeton, and Alabama A&M. In the latest ITA rankings, MTSU finds themselves seated firmly in the number 21 spot as they stood pat for this week. Rice currently sits at 3-4 and is a critical matchup for MT as they will be hosting the Conference USA tournament this year. With the Owls leaving for the American in the fall, this will be the final regular season matchup for these two as conference opponents. The game will begin at 5 o'clock in the Cathedral of Tennis and will be aired live on MTN Sports and CUSA TV. Be sure to give it a look. Middle Tennessee softball will soon be back in session. The Raiders will be playing their first game against UC Riverside on an already stacked Thursday evening. Jeff Breeden's group is described as eager to get back onto the diamond after a somewhat shaky 2022 season. Breeden stated that, "I think in the offseason we've become a lot better culturally. There will be many standout players to watch for, including shortstop Laura Mueller, who is coming off a freshman season great enough to make Trevor Lawrence smile." The softball season sets sail tomorrow at 3 p.m. Moving on, we have men's golf, who's also off to a great start this weekend and had a great tournament, as they've been making waves like Neptune in Statesboro, Georgia. The Raiders played in the Thomas Sharkey Invitational Collegiate on Monday and netted outstanding results for many players. Marcus Varjon stood out above many players with a 70 in the third round to finish in the 5th position. Luke Perkins finished the tournament in a tie for 17th place and was lauded by head coach Mark McIntyre as playing very solid in the last 2 rounds. The next test for MT will be Lake Las Vegas Intercollegiate on February 27th. That's all I've got, guys. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. And I gotta say, I'm super excited to see men's tennis continuing to do well after having such a great season in the past. And be sure to tune in when we do our broadcast for the tennis, men's tennis and women's tennis that you can find with MTN News. And how do you plan to celebrate a possible upcoming holiday? Just a couple of days ago, Tennessee lawmakers proposed the legislation of making the day after the Super Bowl, Super Bowl Monday.
An estimated 17 million people miss work the day after the Super Bowl, and 11 million use pre-approved time off of work. Currently, there are no national holidays surrounding the NFL. If the law passes, it'll be the first and will also replace Columbus Day and go into effect immediately.
Well, thank you for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Sarah Ottman, joined by Mary Beth Mangrum, Dylan Simmons, and Ryan Martinelich. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure you follow us on all of our social media sites, on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you Monday, February 13th for our next show.
Piece of dirt. You got them right in my throat.
Oh my God, that was terrible. I didn't know what to say.
I was like, oh my God. I've done the exact same thing before, so.
If you wanted an ad lib, I would have been on it for like 20 minutes.
Okay. I tried to think of something else to say, and I was just like,
someone was talking really fast.
Oh God.
Who's taking it back?
Probably. What?
Isn't there a new book to figure out English regrades?
Yes.
Yep.
Learn it, figure it out, tell me I'm getting everyone's regrades.
All right.
It's probably me.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.